Welcome to the top 10 most pulled comic books for May 7th, 2025. I'm Mike Spider-Slayer. Welcome back to Comic Book Corner 2.0. If you love daily comic book content, you like me helping you make decisions of what comic books to buy, and you've been watching for a while and you have not hit that subscribe button yet, guys, you know what? I think it's time. This is a video series where I cover the books that people are most excited about. And where do I get that data from? Well, I get it from leagueofcomicgeeks.com. This is a free site that you can use to follow books that are coming out, and you can put books on your pull list. This is not definitive sales numbers. Like I said earlier, this is what people are most excited for, and I think we got a fun list for you this week. And every week we always start off with the 5 books that are trying to crawl its way into the top 10. And the first book is Two-Face. This is issue 6. This is a 32-page comic for the price of $4. This book does have 3,051 pulls to it. It's written by Christian Ward, and the art is done by Fabio Veras. When it comes to this book, it will never crawl its way into the top 10 because I think this is the final issue of this series. I read the first issue. I thought it was pretty decent, but it wasn't just enough for me to continue it. So I want to know in the comments below, what did you guys think of this overall series? And hopefully it ends on a solid note. That is a creepy cover though. Our second book that's on the outside looking in, and I feel like this has dropped already since we found out the identity of who Venom was. This is all new Venom. This is issue 6. The legacy numbering here is 245. It's a 32-page comic for the price of $5. This book does have 3,539 pulls. It's written by Al Ewing, and the art is done by Carlos Gomez. The artwork in this book is absolutely outstanding. It's beautiful. The colors pop. Now Ewing has went on this completely different direction when it comes to the Venom character, and now has decided to make the character Mary Jane. Why is Mary Jane the symbiote? You're going to find out in this issue. So that's why I felt it is worth picking up issue 6. And then I think you're going to have an idea of maybe where this series could go in the future. Our third book that's on the outside looking in, I would say, is a freaking team-up book. Every single issue, there's another character in here. And this is Laura Kinney, Wolverine. This is issue 6. The legacy numbering here is 74. The pages on this book is 32 pages for the price of $4, and the pull number on this one is 3,573 pulls, written by Erica Schultz, and the art is done by Gadia Belvazio. When it comes to this book, I think I gave it like the first story arc with Elektra in there, and then it teamed up with the Winter Soldier, and now it's got like Wolverine, and then I think Gabby in here as well. Listen, if you want to make a Laura Kinney book, that's fine, but make it about her. Why is it always got to be a team-up book? Or just call it Laura Kinney Team-Up. That would probably make a lot more sense, right? Our fourth book that's on the outside looking in goes to JSA. This is issue 7. It's a 32-page comic for the price of $4. This one has 3,827 pulls. It's written by Jeff Lemire, and the art is done by Raphael de la Torre. When it comes to this comic book, unfortunately, I did fall off of it. I am a Jeff Lemire fan, but from what I gather, there is someone that maybe has died in this series, and the JSA is actually mourning the loss, and obviously there's no time for rest or mourning because there's going to be somebody else that attacks. And our final book that's on the outside looking in goes to Psylocke. This is issue 7. 32 pages for the price of $4. This book has 3,998 pulls, just short of the 4,000 mark. Written by Alyssa Wong, and the art is done by Vincent's. So when it comes to this book, I did drop it. There were cuts that I had to make, and there were so many X-Men solo series, like I dropped probably most of them. I think the only one now I really read is Storm. And when it comes to Psylocke, this could be called the Gorgeous Ladies of the X-Men because it's got Psylocke, Magic, Rogue in here. So they're all teaming up to do battle against some kind of ghost or whatnot. The artwork's pretty gorgeous in this comic book. It's not a bad comic. It's just a book that I thought was a miniseries, and I guess it's an ongoing. So you got through the outside looking in, and now we're diving into the top 10. Welcome. And speaking of number 10, we just talked about it. This is Storm. This is issue 8. Legacy numbering, issue 19, 32 pages, $4. I feel like this is an under-the-radar series. This book has 4,400 pulls, written by Merwa Iodell, and the art is done by Lucas Werneck. The artwork is really stand out here. It just does. Like, Storm is absolutely gorgeous. Her adversaries look great. Just the action just explodes off the pages. The coloring is great. And the story's been good too. I mean, it's just fun. And in this issue, it looks like that we're going to have to see Storm answer to the FBI. She's being questioned because of her protection against Charles Xavier. He broke all these laws and she was keeping him in hiding. So we'll see what transpires out of that. But this is a solid book, and I want to know if you guys are reading this title. Hitting that number 9 spot, we got Deadpool. This is issue 14, legacy numbering 349. You know what that means, right? Next issue is the milestone 350th issue and the conclusion to this series. It's 32 pages for the price of $4. This book, it does have 4,420 pulls. It's written by Cody Ziegler and the art is done by Roge Antonio, and it's been great. I love the artwork in this book. I love the humor in here. The supporting cast is what's made this book. This is the first Deadpool book where I actually really care. It's not Deadpool all jokes and, you know, rude and crude humor in your face. He's got his daughter Ellie, you got his adversary Death Grip who actually killed him, you got his dog by the name of Princess who's a symbiote, you got Taskmaster, you got this other dude in here who's a social influencer that helps them with their tech. I'm sad to see it go when it ends. Getting closer to number 5, but right now we're talking about number 8, and this is Birds of Prey. This is issue 21. This book is 32 pages for the price of $4. This book has 4,702 pulls, written by Kelly Thompson, who also writes Absolute Wonder Woman, and the art is done by Sammy Bassere. I know the artwork has changed on this series, and my friends read this book and they say this book has improved. I still have not read it, but I do want to know in the comments below, what do you guys think of it? And it looks like there's a new villainous team up that is happening in this series that is taking on our Birds of Prey. Entering number 7 is Batgirl, issue 7. This book has 32 pages for the price of $4. Has 5,553 pulls. This book is written by Tate Brumble and the art is done by Isaac Goodhart. Now, when it comes to this comic, I'm done. I read 6 issues. I gave it the whole story arc, and I'm just done with Cassandra dealing with her mother. Maybe that's what this series is about. And this does start a second story arc. So if you want to jump on, go ahead. But it's still dealing with Lady Shiva and her secret origins to Batgirl. I'm just tired of that story and I just don't want to read it anymore. Do you guys disagree or do you agree? So just falling short of the top 5 this week goes to Poison Ivy. This is issue 33. It comes in at number 6. 32 pages for the price of $4. This book has 5,864 pulls. It's still a very low pull count, but you can't underestimate the writing here from G. Willow Wilson. She writes a great Poison Ivy. I like her supporting cast. I like her girlfriend Janet in here. And we get the return of the artist, which is Marcio Takara. Now, the artwork is absolutely gorgeous, and been learning different secrets about this city that Pamela has actually risen from the swamp where it rose on its own, and we're doing battles against the green and the gray, and they're all trying to get along. kind of a confusing plot, but it is still really a lot of fun. I suggest that you read it from when the new All-In stuff started. This rose up 4 spots. Coming in at number 5 is The Amazing Spider-Man issue 3. Last time I was like, wow, Amazing Spider-Man coming in at number 9, but it's back in the top 5 again. The legacy numbering is 967, 32 pages for the price of $5. It's still not that great though. The pull number is 7,117 pulls, written by Joe Kelly, and the art is done by Pepe Larraz. We wound up getting to see who one of the bad guys was in the last issue. It was Itsy Bitsy, was a character from Deadpool, Spider-Man back a few years back, right? Hobgoblin's the main bad guy in here. Spider-Man's tripping balls. He's trying to get cured from that. Got Norman's story plot going on here. So I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what this story has to offer, and maybe it'll get better as time goes along. Let me know what you think of Spider-Man as of now. Coming in at number 4 is X-Men issue 16. People are still putting it on their pull list. It seems like they're still reading Jed MacKay's X-Men. The legacy numbering here is 316. It's 32 pages for the price of $5. This book does jump up in pull numbers quite a bit. 9,687 pulls. Again, written by Jed MacKay, and the art is done by Nitho Diaz. Nitho Diaz's artwork, I think, is better in this series than Ryan Stegman's. We're getting introduced to a brand new X-Men team. They're not good guys. It seems like they're bad guys. I think they're led by Cassandra Nova, if I'm not mistaken here. And this is the typical storytelling from Jed MacKay. You're going to have these bad guys that match well with certain X-Men characters. They're going to fight, and then our X-Men are going to prevail. And that's going to be the end of these guys. I don't see these guys having any real legs or real stakes. And that's a problem with Jed MacKay's writing when it comes to team books. It's very predictable. Here we go. We are in the top 3. What grabs the 3rd spot this week? I'm happy this is Absolute Green Lantern. This is issue 2. I feel like this book could have went very many ways. People could have really liked it, or said, man, this is much different, way too different for me, and I am not reading it. So I'm happy it's in the top 3. 32 pages, $5. This book has 10,416 pulls. Congratulations there. Written by Al Ewing, and the art is done by Janahoy Lindsay. The artwork is much different. It's kind of like this anime / manga comic style of artwork. And yeah, we're going to get to learn more about these characters, I hope. Obviously, we got to see Hal Jordan. He's more like a Black Hand character, I feel like. And you wind up getting to see Joe, who actually got the powers of the Green Lantern, and maybe we'll get introduced on how she became the Green Lantern. And we've also got to see other characters in the Green Lantern universe as well. It's coming in at number 2, and I knew this book was going to be a heavy hitter this week, even though the last issue wasn't the best. This is Ultimate Wolverine issue 5. I feel like this is a spec book for a lot of people on top of it, because Ultimate Sabretooth claws his way in to the Ultimate Universe. It's 32 pages for the price of $5. Again, the first appearance of Sabretooth here. This book has 11,620 pulls, written by Chris Condon, and the art is done by Alex Lins. So, yeah, it looks like things from Wolverine's past are starting to creep in. And yeah, one of these characters is Victor Creed. So this could be another one of those bloody books, but let's hope this time they show the violence throughout the comic. So remember, after number 1, we are not done, as we have Spider Slayer's sleeper pick to talk about. I showed you 15 of the most pulled comic books of the week, but I'm picking a book that I think that could be a sleeper pick, and you might want to check that out. So stay tuned to that after this number 1. And the number 1 most pulled comic book for May 7th, 2025, once again, goes to Absolute Superman. This is issue 7. This book is 32 pages for the price of $5. And this is the first full appearance of Brainiac in the Absolute Universe. So you're gonna want to check this book out regardless. This book has 17,649 pulls. This book has blown up, let me tell you. Written by Jason Aaron, and the art is done by Carmine D.G. Domenico. When it comes to this book, we wound up getting to see Krypton blow up and how emotional of an impact that was for Clark. And then he winds up going home. Like, he winds up going to Ma and Pa Kent. He finds a new home. And then because of Lazarus, he gets stripped of that home as well. So that's why he's so emotional and so angry all the time. But for some reason now, we get the full introduction to Brainiac in here. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to see that. And he just seems super dark. And I want to see what he keeps in his lair and all this other stuff. Man, Absolute Superman has been absolutely awesome. Do you agree or disagree? Now it's time for Slayer's Sleeper Pick, and that goes to Image's comic, Blood and Thunder. This is issue 1. This book ranks 35 on the list this week. It has 40 pages for the price of $4. The pull count on this one is 1,131 pulls, and it's written by Robert Kirkman himself and Benito Sereno, and the art is done by E.J. Su. This book is about a Earth that has alien species living on Earth. And there's this bounty hunter that exists, and her name is Blood. And she has a talking gun by the name of Thunder. And obviously there is a alien that breaks out of prison, and she's going to have to take down this prisoner. But all these actual secrets are exposed when it comes to this bounty hunter. So this sounds very intriguing. I'm definitely going to check it out, like I said, and hopefully you guys will too. And there you have it, guys. There are the top 10 most pulled comic books for the week of May 7th, 2025. I want to know what you're most excited about picking up this comic book week. And as always, I'll leave you more content right here for you to click on. And of course, guys, support the local comic shops. Keep buying, keep collecting. But always remember, read your comics so we can have great comic conversation. And guys, I'll see you on New Comic Book Day.